welcome to another episode of Roselle TV. I'm here today with Taylor Harrison from Healthspace, just up the road here in Roselle. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. And you have the great honour of being the first guest, second appearance on the show.
Yes! It's a great honour. It's a very big honour. So thank you very much for having me again.
A pleasure, as always. Now, Taylor, I'm fascinated to know about exercise. I like exercise. I probably don't overdo it, but I know you're doing triathlons and you're about to do one in a few weeks' time.
Yep.
Now, why did you choose triathlons? What got you into it, and how good is it for people really doing triathlons?
Yeah, it's a really growing sport, and I got into it a few years ago now, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I was a runner. I used to play soccer like yourself, and I always enjoyed my running. And then I read Lance Armstrong's book, and it got me into cycling.
Nice.
And then the natural progression from there was someone's like, "Why don't you do a triathlon?"
Right.
And I thought, "Oh, that'd be really great." And the thing that I love about it, and the thing that really drew me into it, was the balance with the exercise as well.
Yes.
Just running all the time can get a bit monotonous, and
Right.
like from an exercise perspective, it doesn't give you enough variation or variability, and it's not as good for health. Whereas I find the triathlons, you get to do the running, the cycling, and the swimming, which gives you a more whole body workout, and it's a more complete exercise.
Tell me, with the running, what are you missing out on in running, basically? Well, a lot of people might dispute that. So what are you actually missing out on?
Yeah, good point. Look, you're not using a lot of the upper body movement, and for most of us now, we're office bound. So we're sitting at desks, computers, we're sitting all day, and we get quite stiff up and through our upper back.
Yes.
And one of the best things to do for that is to go for a swim.
Yes,
and getting swimming, you get a lot more movement. It's a very different exercise to running. They're almost polar opposite exercises.
Yes.
And not only that, with the triathlons, I don't just do running, swimming, and cycling. I combine that with a bit of yoga.
Okay,
a bit of stretching and flexibility. I do that just locally here at Body Mind Life, another plug for a
yes.
local business.
Indeed.
And then I do some strength training as well. So a lot of functional training that goes along with that.
What's involved in the strength training? Is this going to the gym or how?
Yeah. Well, I train in a local gym here. I'm not sure. Can I give another plug?
Yeah, go for it. It's all about Roselle anyway.
Yeah, I'm with the Local Vision here.
The
Local Vision studio, and actually was there doing TRX work today, which is a special type of bands that you use. That's like just basically 2 straps and hooks, 2 handles down the bottom, and I was doing a lot of body weight exercise. Okay. So I actually didn't lift any weights today, but I did a whole full body strength session as well, which actually really helps me with my triathlons, because I want to stay lighter. I don't want big muscles. I'm not going to be those big bulky guys, but I want to be strong. I have good core strength and good flexibility, which is important for triathlons as well. And I find that combined in with the running, the swimming, and the cycling gives me the best exercise I can possibly have.
And okay, give me some idea how much time this is taking up, because I think for a lot of people they go, that's all very well. Mind you have a new baby, so it's like
4-month-old at home. Yeah,
congratulations. And so that's that your time is stretched. You run a business, you got a 4-month-old baby.
Yeah. Well, I think the beauty of it, and this is one of the things I found, another reason it drew me to it, was the flexibility of my training. Most of the time I'll get up and I'll train in the morning.
Right.
So quite often I'll get up early and I can be out my bike and go for a ride. I'll go for an hour or 2-hour ride before work even starts.
Right.
And you find there's a big community of that now.
Right,
I think, look, I've said it before, but cycling is the new golf. It's the new sport that people seem to be taking up, maybe in their late 30s, early 40s, right into their 50s. They're taking it up now because it's a really good exercise. But they can get it in before work. Or early on a Saturday morning, or early on a Sunday morning, and they're done by 8 o'clock, and then you've got the whole day ahead.
Right.
So I always train every morning. So time-wise, how much time do I put into it? This one I'm not doing as much training. I did the full Ironman a couple of years back, which is the big one, and that was about 15 hours a week. But this one, probably about 6 hours a week. And a lot of that is just an hour in the morning or an hour and a half in the morning before work.
Yes.
And then you're done for the day. You can kind of tick that off my list, and then I can go home and spend time with my baby girl and my lovely wife. Hopefully he's watching. And
So And look, it does give you that. I guess if you do that much exercise in the morning, it sets you up for the day.
Yeah, you feel good. You feel energized for the day.
Yes.
It gets you going, and you know that good sense that you've kind of done it. I could never train in the evenings just because I get to the end of the day at work and I'm kind of, I still got training to do. So I always train either in the morning or at lunchtime. They were my two favourite training days. I never did any training at night. So that was enough.
But if you're not training for a triathlon, how much exercise? I mean, that's probably how long is a piece of string question. But for the average person, how much time should they really be putting into exercise a week?
Good question. I mean, the recommended guidelines are half an hour, 4 to 5 times a week kind of thing.
Yes.
I find, depending on what you're doing with your training, if you're doing, and you should have variety with your training. If I was just going to say one thing, it's to mix it up.
Yes.
And then do 3 different activities a week. If you do 3 different activities a week, maybe one that's more strength based, one that's more flexibility based, and one that's more aerobic based, you've covered your bases. You'll probably get the best benefit from that, rather than say running 5 times a week.
Yes.
I'd actually say you're going to get better benefit doing less, but making it smarter. So training smarter, not harder, giving more variety.
And then if you want to step it up a little bit, say you're a runner and you want to improve, but you still should be doing that balance. Is that because that will actually give you that core strength you're talking about? Exactly
right. And there's a lot. There's a great book out there. I'll give it a plug. It's called Run Less, Run Faster. And it's actually for elite runners, and it's saying how people should drop back their running, but when they do run, they run really, really hard. And then their days off, they should be doing other things like strength training, swimming, or cycling. And that's one of the things that got me really interested in that, reading about it, and that people were actually getting better performances, but by training less, but training smarter.
Doing some more exercise upstairs.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think we'll call it a wrap at that.
Yeah,
thanks so much. A pleasure. Thank you, Taylor Harrison from Healthspace, just up the road here in Roselle. And that's it for another episode of Roselle TV. Bye for now.